pause for a moment and remember I'm in the back seat with Alan Hocka.
So you know that when the car goes around that hill?
Yes, to land this. Mr. Walter Gretzky. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm thrilled standing beside you.
Hey, wow.
Sorry,
Take two. Just go ahead and pinch me. Go on now. They're crafting twin 48-foot wooden schooners, the traditional kind. Hi, I'm Stephanie Beaumont. Welcome to See and Be Seen, the show that celebrates all the people, places, and things that make the 4 Atlantic provinces so very special. From Nova Scotia to New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island to Newfoundland and Labrador, we take you to where the action is. And on this show, we're spending the day in Fredericton.
Have a good day.
Thanks. The beautiful city of stately elms rests, runs, and bustles along the St. John River. Settled back in 1783 with about 2,000 United Empire Loyalists, the capital of New Brunswick has grown to near 50,000 citizens, about 10 of which attend the university. But it's fair to say all of them enjoy the energy of this vibrant community, and we've got a plan to see as much of their great history, heritage, and culture as we can while we're here. Time to meet our guide and properly prepare. You gotta know, my first stop is for coffee. So many people have told us about the Cedar Tree Cafe, and Stacey Russell, we're gonna need coffee for the day we've got planned.
Oh my goodness, we might need a couple actually.
Is that true? Well,
it's crazy.
I don't mind. Stacey Russell from Fredericton Tourism, and just run down the schedule for today, what we got planned.
Well, we'll be doing some, we'll be visiting with some adventures instructors, Trudy Gallagher, along with Chris Caldwell to see pottery.
Right.
With that too, we'll be going over to King's Landing and learning about the program and some new announcements they have for this year, and a great new movie coming out. We're going to learn about some of our top festivals coming up this summer.
This is like the year of the festival. Is that right?
There are so many festivals, and you'll see that we have some new ones coming up, and we're really excited about them.
Cool, very good.
As well, we're going to talk about all our free entertainment, our trails. We'd love for you to stay a couple days. I don't know how we're going to fit it all into one.
We're going to do our very best on this
lots of
episode,
coffee.
and we'll have free stuff too to give away. So let's get at her. Time to hit the trail, or the green as the locals call it, a pathway system stretching 5 kilometers along the St. John riverfront and connecting to 88 more throughout the city. It's where you'll find that iconic lighthouse, and it's our first stop on our Fredericton adventure, or in this case, edVentures. edVentures, it's fun. Now we're putting it on the screen there, so you don't think I'm mispronouncing it. But this is a number of years you've been doing it so successfully. How many years is this now?
This is the 6th year for it, and what it is you actually get to come in and learn how to do a fine craft from some of New Brunswick's top artists. So whether you're interested in pottery or painting, jewelry making, textiles, over 70 workshops you can come and enjoy.
And all ages, right?
Most of them are for 16 plus,
Okay.
But there are children's workshops you can take with some of our partners, so there is that opportunity for families as well.
Okay, now, and I'm just thinking in terms of the timing, because everyone wants to plan their schedule and their summer and things like that. How does that work?
It runs from July and August, and we have workshops that are half day, 1 day, right up to 5 days, so it's very easy to fit into a schedule.
Holly, you were just telling us about where you work too, and we're going to show that now. That is beautiful, and there's a history behind this structure where tourism, you hang your hats now. Lots of people have been there before.
It is the only structure left in the historic garrison district that is wood. All the other ones burnt down. It was a former militia arms store, a hospital, and now it houses Fredericton Tourism, so there's lots of history there.
Very good. Okay, and what an exciting town this is. Where were you born?
I was born and raised in Fredericton.
Is that true?
Yes, absolutely. Been here my entire life, love it, would never leave.
Is that true? I love that. I love that. And I'm loving the sound of edVentures. Right next door to Holly's offices in Barrack Square, you'll find the New Brunswick College of Craft and Design. So many wonderful workshops will take place there this summer, led by talented folks like acclaimed jewelry designer Trudy Gallagher. She's been creating masterpieces for years, and her adventure will have you mastering the basics of jewelry making before you know it.
We learn the basic concepts of doing wrapping or doing a rosary. Those are the 2 main connections that you use in jewelry, and knowing just those 2 things and some hand tools, you can make a heck of a lot of jewelry, just knowing that. These are sterling silver with hand-blown glass beads, but for the course, we actually practice quite a bit in copper.
Because that's more malleable, is that right?
No, well, you are right. The copper is more malleable. That's completely right, but it's the cost. The price of silver. I mean, when you're looking at a piece of silver like this that's $1, do you want to practice with that 50 times, or would you rather practice with a piece of copper?
Gotcha.
So we practice with copper, we practice making hooks, we actually practice making our earrings, and then when the students feel comfortable, then they move on to the sterling silver in their packages. So they will go home with at least 1 or 2 pairs of silver earrings, but they probably have a whole arsenal of copper earrings. I'm very much a teacher who does not believe in dazzling you. Okay. I don't want you to come in and I'll show you 25 different things and you go home that night and you think, I don't get it. Oh my God, yes. I can't remember how to make any of that. So I spend a lot of time technically making sure that when you go home, you'll remember it. And so day 2, they're actually able to move really quickly because they practiced a lot.
The fundamentals.
They practiced a lot with the technique on the Saturday, and then on the Sunday, they're usually able to get a simple bracelet, a complicated bracelet, and some people who are really keen will whiz ahead and get some kind of a necklace done.
And everyone gets a gorgeous goodie bag full of fun stuff to work with, from glass beads to Swarovski crystal to gemstones and more.
Just like a variety of materials, I have a variety of students. I've had everything from the minimum age of 16 to also, I get a tremendous amount of mother and daughter teams. People who want to come with their mom and have an experience, do something fun together. I've also had a work group where it's been like 6 people from their work and they wanted to just bond. It's not that they want to be jewelers. In fact, I had one woman at the end of a course, she stood up at the end of the course right before everybody's finished and she slapped her Visa card on the counter. She said, Trudy, you're going to be seeing a whole lot more of that in the future. And I was like, and she's like, this was a lot of fun and you're a really good teacher, but I'm going to be using that. I'm not going to be doing that. And I was like, okay.
And if pottery's more your thing, you'll find plenty of that just down the hall. From workshops on the wheel to the ancient art of raku, there's a class for everyone. We caught up to award-winning master potter Chris Caldwell to find out how he got hooked on the craft.
I came to this school in 1992, sort of had a midlife crisis and decided to study pottery. And
that was it, you were hooked.
I was hooked.
I wonder how many people on edVentures get hooked and say, I'm changing my life now, I'm quitting my day job and becoming a potter.
We have had a couple.
Is that true?
That's true, yes.
Oh, very good. Well, you get inspired. And really, I don't have to know anything when I show up. Is that right, Chris? I could
That's right, yeah.
Really?
Really.
Okay.
No, that's part of the appeal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
And the biggest thing to learn is that it's fun.
Fun for sure. And with everything from fashion and sewing to metalwork and mixed media design, there's a workshop for everyone. Now, speaking of fun, we've got plenty still ahead on CNB Scene. We're going to take in a little tap at the Playhouse and strike while the iron's hot at King's Landing. But first, let's talk festivals, starting with one of Fredericton's most famous.
6 incredible days, 6 city blocks, 1 happening city. 1 man in charge. Ladies and gentlemen, Brent Staben. How are you?
Good, great to be here.
I mean, let's talk about it because congratulations, first of all, 23 years.
Thank you.
You're like an institution in the entertainment fabric of this city.
Well, I think that it's not just me. I want to be clear about that. 1,200 volunteers make this happen for everyone each September. You might ask, how do you get that many volunteers, right? I mean, that's a question we're asked a lot, and it's because it's fun.
Yeah.
But it's also a pride thing. I mean, and that's
Sure.
what's been part of the success of this has been, people really wanting to come out, take part, have fun, and show off the city to visitors from all over the world.
I love, too, because I follow on Twitter, so many of the artists are going to the other shows and loving it, too.
Yeah, and it's become, certainly in a social media age, you get a much larger sense of just how huge this thing is and how many people are involved. Certainly the sponsors leverage it up and really enjoy themselves and have their folks out too. But it's certainly been Twitter and Facebook over the last couple of years that have really given people a sense of just what we've got going on here.
I love, too, that you've got everybody from, like, singers and songwriters to happening big bands.
With so many shows, so many venues on sale, I think that what would surprise most people who don't know anything about us is the scope of this thing, the scale of it.
Yes.
We ourselves run 4 venues a night that hold more than 6,000 people. And then you throw on top of that we run the Playhouse. That's another soft seat theater, 700 people. And then there's the free outdoor shows, and there's the bars and pubs and everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's 2 messages, really. And if you want those Avett Brothers or Michael Franti or Government Mule or Big Sugar or whatever, you got to get your ticket. But there's always something amazing here.
Yes.
If you're at home in Rishabukto, and you're like, how do I be a part of this? And it's tonight. I mean, there is some way to participate if you hopped in your car and came.
And folks are flocking to Fredericton for festivals year-round. From the brand new Frostival and soon-to-be-held Brewers Bash to the much-established New Brunswick Spirits and Silver Wave Film Festivals, there's so many great events to attend.
If you are looking for a rockin' good time in Fredericton, Fred Rock, it's in the name, it's a combo, and 3 days this year. How about that? Used to be 2. There are 2 fellas behind the magic. They are Nick and Mike. How are you guys?
We're fantastic.
Is that true? Well, I'm excited because I have been talking about Fred Rock. I've been talking about it on CNBC, and now I'm finally with the 2 guys behind the magic. And congratulations, first of all, 5 years.
Thank you.
Hey?
It's a great anniversary.
Milestone.
Does it seem like only yesterday?
At times.
Yeah.
At times, yeah. Yeah.
And bigger every year.
Yeah.
Tons of logistics, right?
Totally.
Like I think about it, we just show up and woo, party, but
Oh, yeah.
behind the scenes, it's a lot of work for you guys.
Behind the scenes is everything. I think we've probably taken in 5 years about 10 to 15 minutes worth of music.
Come on, is that true?
Well,
A little bit, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, when you're there during the festival, I mean, we're customer service background in the restaurants and bar business for years, and we focus on making sure that everybody's happy. So the last thing on our minds is to sit there and listen to it,
that's why we get it recorded and watch it later.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to bang for their buck. We, like, in our other businesses, like Mike said, we come from the service industry
Well,
background.
throw out some names, drop some names in case, where are you working? What's the...
I own Nicky's Ease and Lava Vodka Bar downtown as well. Yeah.
And I own Cora Breakfast and Lunch here in Fredericton.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the food and the
Yes.
night
The
club.
adult beverages. The adult beverages.
The adult beverages.
Yes. Okay, so you get that in terms of an offering, but let's talk talent. Let's talk about your 5th year lineup and just take us through some of the highlights.
This year, we're really excited because we're bringing some outside of the box compared to other years' bands. Really, like things are going to get a little nutty on one of the nights. Buck Cherry should probably bring an interesting party vibe to one of our nights, and we're really excited this year about City in Color.
Up and down to Georgia. Ride free with them high falcons.
The amazing Matt Mays has just been added, along with rockers The Tea Party and Wildlife. Add to that mix Chaos and Classify, plus so many other great artists, and Fred Rock's got a lock on being a perennial favorite.
But moving, find that extra and push your way through it.
People are still coming from year one. Every year, we have people buying tickets or wanting tickets before it even goes on sale, before we even announce a lineup.
Nice.
Come on.
Yeah, and I mean, we're in the capital city. Come on. We're in the capital city of New Brunswick here, and I mean, it's what better way to spend it? You're in summer, you're outdoors. It's an open air festival on the St. John River. Why wouldn't you want to be here?
Can't beat it.
Beautiful city.
Yeah.
Welcome back to CNBC. You're looking at the Guardhouse in Fredericton's Barrack Square. You can catch live theater and song here daily throughout the summer, but right now I've enlisted these guards to help me with a little TV free stuff performance. You'll need to remember this scene to score an awesome prize pack coming up in just a bit. First though, let's get a little more scoop on this historical hotspot in the city.
The historic Garrison District is booming all summer long. We've got piles of free entertainment from concerts. We have the changing of the guard ceremony. We have our classic movies Under the Stars, which will be right behind us on Sunday evenings. People love that. It's a favorite. And summer music theater. There's all sorts of different things. And of course, many of our festivals that we've talked about also take place within the historic Garrison District.
Which is great. Okay, and really the perimeter of which is great restaurants, great shopping, and if I could just say, free parking. Like, what is that about? I don't get this.
We love it, and what it is, how it works is we have free parking for anybody that comes from out of province. So they'll get 3 days of free parking at meters and within the parking garages. They just need to stop at our visitor information center to get their pass. And people from in New Brunswick, if they live outside of Fredericton, will get 1 free day of parking.
You can't beat that. I have to be honest. I always thought it was such a long drive from Chester, but it wasn't. You're close.
No, it's what we're seeing more and more now is people within in New Brunswick and also around the Maritimes. You can almost do it in day trips as well if you want, to be able to go back and forth or come for a couple nights. Great packages. And the nice thing too, I'm sure you've noticed, is we've got a lot of accommodations and bed and breakfasts that are right downtown, so everything's close.
And there's a real mix of modern buildings with the old historic properties.
We have free heritage walking tours and audio tours, so people are able to get out and learn about the city through those tours.
Thanks to the cool people profiles on cnbc.com, we've learned a lot about Fredericton too. We've already hit David Miles' favorite spot for coffee, the Cedar Tree Cafe. And radio personality Freddie Mac told us to go to M&T Deli because you can see live art happening in the window. We went and found Andrew Meredith doing his thing. Actor-director Denny Theriault and award-winning author Sherry Fitch, along with just about everybody else, said the Fredericton Farmers Market is a must. Over 200 vendors with everything from meats and veggies to baked goods and flowers to you name it. It's awesome. Shore Road Pictures producer Tony Whalen considers the Beaverbrook Art Gallery a must-do, as does Lost Girl star Anna Silk, who was actually married in the gallery back in April of 2011. That's cool.
That beautiful building is the New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame, and you know New Brunswick has a ton of incredible athletes, including Mr. Ron Turcotte, who you remember was immortalized, if you will, in the Disney movie Secretariat.
In frenzied excitement, he eats up the ground. He paws fiercely, rejoicing in his strength, and charges into the fray, afraid of nothing. When the trumpet sounds,
I absolutely loved it, and they actually had a summer screening of it there, and Mr. Turcotte was in attendance. And I want to talk to you about another movie that was actually shot right here in Fredericton, and that was one at King's Landing. It's Copperhead, and it is going to be a blockbuster this summer.
Why don't you come on in here and tell me a war story?
The war between the states. That's what Abner Beach called it. It'd been going on for a year before it really got to us in the upper part of New York State. They called us people in the north that didn't want the war Copperheads. We were far from the battles. At least, I thought we were. Springtime, 1862. That's when the war came home, and nothing was ever the same again.
Cannot wait. It looks so great. The Ron Maxwell film stars Oscar-nominated actor Peter Fonda and Golden Globe-nominated actor Billy Campbell, plus a whole slew of East Coast actors. The film is set for a limited U.S. release June 28th, and we're hopeful it'll hit Canadian theaters soon after. In the meantime, we wanted to visit this amazing location for ourselves, and King's Landing was just as breathtaking in real life.
What we're seeing around here, really a collection of homes from way back in the 1800s, but where did you get them? How did they get here?
Well, in the 1960s, the government decided to build the Mactaquac Hydro Dam. And when they did that, they had to flood and create a headwater above the dam site, and they rose the level of the river about 150 feet. And when they were doing that, there were a group of people who recognized that a lot of our local history was going to go underwater as a result. So most of these homes and shops and barns and what have you were along the banks of the St. John River in the path of the flood. So they decided to move them to a central location and restore all the buildings back to their original time periods. And that's how King's Landing came about.
Everybody can enjoy it.
Absolutely. We have something here for all ages, from the seniors who like to come and it feels like something they recognize from when they were growing up. We have families coming with young children, even with teenagers who are coming and enjoying their time here with us.
Lots of school trips.
Lots of school groups, absolutely. We even have a summer camp for children who come and dress in the period costume. Yeah, they have a great time with us.
Time to get our great time underway. First stop, the Lint House, where there's always something cooking.
Just take me through the experience here, because this is actually a culinary school that we're standing in.
It is.
And how does that work?
Well, you'll come in as a visitor, and if I'm cooking, I can invite you if you would like to come and help me cook.
So literally visitors come to the center and they're like, we're making gingerbread, and then they just get in on the action.
Or if I'm doing dishes, I can hand you a cup down.
I love it. And there's no dishwasher here at King's Landing.
Just me.
Just you. And the oven is where? Where is the oven?
Over here. She's bringing out about 3 scoops of hot coals, and then she'll set the Dutch oven on that.
All right, and there it is. There she blows. Is that an old recipe? My mom has an old recipe.
Most of the recipes we have here are a lot of my heritage recipes.
Neat.
And gingerbread, I'm sure, has been around for years.
I bet.
So she'll put about 3 scoops or whatever she thinks she needs for the top of that. And she'll smooth them out so they're not going to be too many on one side, not enough on the other.
When you know it's done because all the coals are out?
I go by the smell.
Oh, you go by the smell? Okay, so there's no timer.
There's no timer. Just go by the smell.
I'm so glad I'm not in charge of cooking. Okay.
You get used to it.
Do ya? Those coals are on. You're gonna let that bake, and then we're gonna go off and have some fun.
Sure.
Is that all right? And will you save us a piece?
I certainly will. In fact, you can have the whole cake.
Woohoo!
Take with you.
Remember that first scene in Copperhead? I found it. No sign of Mr. Fonda, but I did find 3 fellas hard at work. What have you got going on here now?
Well, right now we're forging some nails at the moment, but we can do pretty much anything you want.
If you needed hooks, door latches, hinges, tools, parts for your wagon, we're going to do it for you.
Very good.
A village couldn't really exist without us. We're very, very important.
Very good. And talk about important, that's the man right there. I'm going to move right over and talk to the chief blacksmith. And what's your name, sir?
My name's Terry.
And you mean business?
Sometimes. Most times.
Very good.
I just think Ron Maxwell was filming here this time last year. The camera bought
Did
that
you have a
later.
flashback? Now, were you in that movie, sir?
Copperhead, yes.
You were?
Oh, yes.
What kind of role did you have in it?
I had a very prestigious one. It's called Extra.
I love it.
You know, it was
Were
great.
you in character, though? Were you a blacksmith in that show?
Yeah.
Oh, you were?
Well, you noticed me doing this. This is what they were filming me. Pumping the bell up.
Well, we'll look for you. Can I get your autograph before we leave?
I got one better for you. I have a business card that was made here. It's a souvenir. It's
Is that true?
100-year-old machine. I'll let you have it.
Oh, I'd love that.
I have
I'd love
it right
that.
over there.
Off we go again, from one historic card to another. We have made our way to the Eustace house, which there's a lot of spinning and weaving and carding and whatnot going on. That's Cindy Coleman, and she knows what she's doing over there. And this lady, Maureen, you're spinning.
I am,
Yeah.
and this is something that every woman should know how to do. Women who didn't need a husband were spinners. That's where the term spinster came from.
Is that true?
That's true.
I did not
And
know that.
if you could do this really well,
Yes.
you could make a lot of money for yourself. You had your own trade, and you didn't need a husband. So that's where the term spinster came from.
I didn't. Well, and there you have it. We've learned something. Now, what kind of wool is that?
This is sheep's wool from our Cotswold sheep here at King's Landing. I start off with the sheep, I wash it in a big cauldron outside, and then come in here. Cindy has been picking it out for me and carding it, and I've got a nice basket of carded wool there. And what I'm doing is spinning it up for my loom upstairs.
I love the colors there, Maureen. Now, that's got to be done naturally as well.
They are. They're done from colors found around here. Like the yellow in the front, that's from grape leaves. I can get a really vibrant green from goldenrod. And then if I want to get kind of ritzy, I can use cochineal. And the cochineal, that's the red color.
Okay.
Mr. Grant gets that in for me, and I only need a little bit. And it's very expensive, so
Is it?
I wouldn't want a lot. you know.
Cochineal, though, what is that? Like a...
Cochineal is a little insect. It's found in Central America, burrows in a cactus.
Are you for real? How would they have known that would be good for dye?
Well, see, I don't know that, but I imagine some South American gentleman went around with pink toes and came up with a great idea. That's my theory on it, but I'm not really sure on that.
One thing I'm sure of, I love it here.
King's Landing, it's so beautiful right on the St. John River, and all these buildings are something to behold. They're open now until Thanksgiving weekend, so bring your family. We've spun, we've done some blacksmithing and some baking. Linda, is that ready?
Yes, certainly is.
Awesome.
Enjoy it.
I will indeed. Thanks, ladies.
Bye.
See ya. I love it here.
Got my free gingerbread. Now it's time to do some giving. This TV Free Stuff prize pack is chock-a-block full of Fredericton goodies. An edVentures Fredericton silk scarf, an edVentures Fredericton mug, edVentures Fredericton coasters, those are made of rug hook remnants, plus Pickeroons has thrown in a pair of flip-flops and 2 of their awesome soap bars. And how about this? Trudy Gallagher, edVentures instructor, remember her? She's thrown in a pair of her beautiful bejeweled earrings. Now that is a load of loot, and it could all be yours if you can tell me how many guards did I stand with in Barrack Square. Hope you can remember. Once you've got the answer, head to the website. It's www.cnbscene.com. Click on the TV Free Stuff box and submit your answer. Good luck to ya. We'll be right back. Welcome back to CNBC. Our day in Fredericton is winding down, but we found the perfect way to cap it off. We're taking in a show at the Playhouse. A gift from Lord and Lady Beaverbrook to the people of New Brunswick back in 1964. The soft seater has been packing them in ever since with every kind of performance.
Our goal at the Playhouse is to have a facility that offers something for every taste. So everything from children's shows, local dance school recitals like this, to international touring shows, Broadway shows coming up from New York, professional theater company, Theatre New Brunswick, the Provincial Orchestra, Symphony New Brunswick does their concerts here. There's really something for everyone. Last year we had 153 shows here, so really about 3-4 nights a week. Come to downtown Fredericton, you'll see the lights on in the theater. We got a huge schedule of events every year.
Now,
There's
is
really
that
something
you,
for
your
everyone.
executive director? Is that you? Are you like the...
We have a big team. I mean, we have people who are dedicated specifically to programming. They travel all over North America to find the most exciting work, contemporary, traditional, classical work, and inviting artists to come to New Brunswick and to perform in Fredericton. And we've got a great staff. Yeah.
Now, Tim, I know you got to get in for the show. I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you your favorite performance since you've become executive director.
Well, we've had some pretty special moments, but I'll say the one that sticks out in my mind is when we were the rehearsal venue for Leonard Cohen's world tour. So we were the very first live performance that Leonard had given in 15 years. And he was here for a week. It was totally secret. No one could know that he was here for a few days rehearsing with his band before he went out into the world of touring again. So that was pretty special.
Cool.
But you know, even the shows with the local dance schools, we have like 100 little kids in their sparkly costumes. Those are pretty special too, because it's a special night for everyone when they come to a live performance, right?
Oh, and what a show we were invited to. Thanks to Bonnie Kilburn and her dancers for inviting us to a night at the movies. For 45 years, Bonnie and her amazingly talented staff have been teaching dance in Fredericton. Her philosophy, there's a dancer in all of us, and we sure saw some stellar performances. Truly remarkable. If you're in the area and want to get your feet moving, visit www.bonniekilburndancers.com. Bravo! If you'd like to watch this show again or see any episode of CNBC.com, head to www.bellalliant.net. They're all there, on demand. And if you'd like to see more of our cool people profiles, specifically those who feature Fredericton, head to our website. It's www.cnbc.com. Hey, and great thanks to the Crown Plaza Fredericton Lord Beaverbrook for their hospitality. We had a great stay. And our final shout out of the show goes to Mr. Tom Swift. The very cool New Brunswick bluesman was the first person to turn us on to Picaroons. A tasty choice indeed.
This is one amazing city you got here, Stacey Russell.
Oh, no kidding. I'll tell you, there's no reason to go anywhere else. There's lots to see and do in Fredericton.
That is and thank you for arranging it all. We've had such a great time.
Our pleasure. We love
We're
having
coming back.
you.
Absolutely. I like to warn people, and I want to toast you. Thank you for all of your hospitality.
Thank you.
Come to Fredericton, and we'll see you next time on CNBC.